This is Maarte. Not quite a podcast, more like voice memos you weren't supposed to hear. Do you love others the way you love yourself? So I was doom scrolling the other day, and honestly, my feed has been a nasty mess. It's, oh God, the algo is just crazy because you stop on one post, even if you don't interact with the post, if you read it for a few seconds, suddenly that's all you see. And so I stopped on one post, which was my horoscope. And now all of a sudden, all I see is just Dear Pisces. If they wanted to, they would, like all of that. And I'm like, yo, this is borderline predatory. What is this? It's just, ugh. And somewhere in there, I came across this idea that I hadn't really thought about before because not I read, someone said, people love others the way they love themselves. And at first I was like, yeah, you know what? That sounds right. But then I sat there with it a little bit longer and I thought, well, wait, what about the people who don't love themselves? Like, what does their love look like? Because not everyone who loves you loves themselves. And that kind of changes everything. Like, if you love yourself in a healthy way, your love probably looks like consistency. You communicate, you stay, you take accountability when things get hard. Your love feels safe. But when someone doesn't love themselves, their love can feel like confusion. They might care about you deeply, yes, but they don't know how to hold something good. They question it, they pull back, they overthink, they disappear when it gets real. And, you know, I just want to tell you, it's not because you are not enough. It's because they don't believe they are. And here's where it gets really complicated because I don't believe you have to be 100% healed to be in a relationship. I think that's crazy. But hold on, let's just finish this thought. You don't have to be 100% healed to be in a relationship because if that were the case, no one, none of us would ever be in one. But I do actually believe there are relationships that can help you grow, that can actually help you heal. But, and this is the part people skip over, relationships can support healing, but they cannot replace the willingness to do it. Like, two people can absolutely grow together if both people are showing up, if there's honesty, communication, accountability. If both people are willing to sit in discomfort and not run from it, man, that kind of love, ooh, yeah, that kind of love can definitely change you. And once you've had that kind of love before, it's like you can't have anything less, and you don't deserve anything less than that, to be quite honest. But here's the thing, if one person is open and the other person avoids, that's not a healing relationship. That's one person doing the emotional work while the other person protects themselves. And so it's not really about do you love others the way you love yourself. It's more like people love others to the depth they understand themselves. Like, what is your capacity? And if their relationship with themselves is unstable, their love will be too, unfortunately. And if you're someone who loves deeply, who shows up, who communicates, who if you are, well, I had like the weird lish there. If you are someone who loves deeply, who shows up, who communicates, you have to be careful because you will keep trying to meet people at that level. And, quite frankly, there's a lot of people that don't meet themselves there. They don't even meet themselves there at that level. And that's where you lose yourself, not in the loving, but the overgiving. So, maybe the real question is, are you loving people who are capable of loving you back in a way that feels like home? Because love isn't just about feeling, it's about the capacity, it's about the consistency, it's about what someone can actually sustain. And if they can't sustain you, and I want you to listen to this, if they can't sustain you, it doesn't mean that you were too much. It means they weren't enough for what you need. And that's really hard to accept, especially when it felt real and especially when they cared. Because both things can be true. They can care about you and still not be able to show up for you. And I think that's the part that confuses people the most. So, no, you don't have to be perfectly healed to love someone, but you do have to be aware enough to not let your unhealed parts hurt the person in front of you. And if you're not there yet, that doesn't make you a bad person, but it does mean you're not ready to hold someone else's heart. Okay. And that's it.